Alright, hey folks. Man, my client was screwing up there. I'm back, and this is going to be another viewer game. This one is going to be by Solar, or Solar Force, who's going to be throwing down with some Kennen for us today. This is going to be a ranked game. He wrote what the bans were in his email, but I forget. But as we can see, we've got relatively solid standard ranked picks. I expect we're going to see from this team Kennen mid, Talon top, Ashe Tarek bot, and Fiddle in the jungle. It could also be Talon mid, Kennen top. Sorry, and it's going to be Jax top. As you can see, he's got teleport there. Cassiopeia mid, and Sion Caitlyn bot with Udyr in the jungle. On the whole, I feel like the home team has a little bit of an advantage here because Sion's not the greatest support. Like, Sion really needs farm to be effective, whereas Tarek has CV, which is going to be a huge advantage for the team, and also doesn't need farm to be effective. In terms of... I'm actually going to pause the game here real quick and just discuss the teams. First, actually, I'm going to fix the crap. Running completely screwing up. Okay, here we go. All right. So in terms of teams, I just want to talk about this because this is a ranked game, so team comp is even more important than it is in normals. We're going to have really good initiation from this team, who have flash in from Kennen. They've got Talon who can blink onto stuff. They've got Ashe Arrow, and they've got Fiddle ult, so that's a bunch of solid initiation. They're also running a sort of an AoE comp with Fiddle, Kennen, and Talon. As well as Tarek even does a bunch of AoE damage. On the other team, we're running a much more single damage comp with Cassiopeia, who does a ton of single target burst, and Caitlyn and Jax also. Ganks from the jungle are going to favor this team in the early game. I mean, they're going to favor purple because Udyr is a much more powerful ganker than Fiddle at early levels, but Fiddle scales extremely well once he hits 6, and of course is extremely powerful in team fights. So now that we sort of understand what both teams' goals are, this team wants to cluster up and have a team fight, and this team wants to pick people off one by one, we sort of can learn a little bit more about how the game is going to progress. And we'll start this off. Ashe playing on the Game Boy. Ashe taking a while to load, I guess. I didn't notice who it was. We see a Doran Shield start. Which is pretty good. I would tend to go Boots 3. Oh, okay, it is Kennen mid. I was right the first time. I would tend to go Boots 3 pots on Kennen rather than Doran Shield, because I just don't feel like Doran Shield gives you enough sustain to stay in the game. I just don't think it's a very good item right now. Fiddle getting a ring, which is pretty solid. Tarek has CV'd the other team, so we can see a little bit of what they've got. This longsword potion start from Talon, I think is awful. I really think he should be Boots 3. See, the other team is not going to be aggressively chasing Fiddle's jungle, so that's good. Ashe with a very standard, very solid Dorn Blade start, and Tarek with a Dorn Ring, which I don't like. I think he should be Boots, Ward, Pot, or Fairy Charm, 2 wards and some pots. As a support champion, obviously his job is not to... He needs the sustain, but mostly he needs that ward, especially with Udyr on the other team, because they can do very early level 2 ganks. I want to thank everyone who submitted replays so far. I think this is the last one that I'm going to do this round. but I may do this again at some point. Just I want to get back to being able to post a few more commentaries. See a good pull from Kennen and Talon, just getting a little bit of damage on the golem for Fiddlesticks. I actually would like to see a stronger pull. I don't know when this game was played, so I don't know what patch Ash is talking about. Probably this was played a while ago, so that would be the cooldown on her ultimate nerf. Talon and Jax are going to have some very sort of standard laning experience when both of them get really strong when they hit 2, so. Tarek, last hit. Okay, I mean, let me farm. I was like, Tarek, last hit? No! Yeah, no, definitely Tarek should be letting Ash farm. Incidentally, we see that the other team has done their lanes horribly. They put Caitlyn mid, which is just wrong. That's just completely incorrect. This gank is going down. So I'll talk about that a bit more later. Looks like Jax gets away. It sucks that you can't see his health. I thought for a second they had that, but I think Talon missed one of his skills. Yeah, so I think this is an awful decision. They should really have cast mid, because you really want... AD carries are not good at laning, and you really want your AD carry to get farmed, which means, like, to get gold. It doesn't matter if they get levels, so they don't need a solo. What you do is you just have someone support them. This way, both Sion and Cassiopeia are going to be crippled on into late game. Caitlyn will do okay, except that Kennen can probably just wreck Caitlyn in lane, because she doesn't have the burst to compete with a Kennen. She does have range and can zone with traps, so she's a better solo lane than most AD carries. But especially with no sustain, this is just going to be really, really hard for this Caitlyn. So they're making the correct decision and not popping the traps by stepping on them. There's no reason to do that if they're not in an inconvenient place. I like to pop the traps only if they're in the middle of the lane. The ones at the side of the lane, you just don't step on. I also, when I play Caitlyn, you put traps in the middle of the lane because creeps don't pop them, and you get a much bigger advantage because it zones them out from a larger and more important of an area. People like to stand here to last hit, and your goal with traps is mostly to make them miss last hits. We're seeing maxing Shuriken on Kennen, which makes a lot of sense. Oh, missed that one. That's too bad. That would have been a lot of free damage. But we can already see that Caitlyn is just not going to be able to lane against Kennen on into the late game. Or on into the mid laning phase. Yeah, just zap, and then just auto attack. Even with the creeps on him, he can trade this damage. And this is also a really good bait for Fiddle, which forced Caitlyn's flash. I feel like he could have baited that a little more safely. Because Caitlyn was going to step up anyways. We see this gank going down on bot because Tarek didn't get a ward and he's going to be completely dead here. So first blood goes down for purple. But Ash should get out. Fiddle is going to fear and drain. He should have feared and drained the Sion, and Ash could have turned with a volley. I don't know how much health they have, but I feel like they might have been able to pick off Sion as they retreat. As the others retreated. It looks like Ash had very low health, or she wouldn't be standing here, but not being able to see the health is very frustrating. And so here we see the problem with Thorn Shield, which is that he's having to play quite back, not knowing where, he knows where Udyr is. He should actually be playing more aggressively right now. But having to play fairly back because of having no sustain, no regen. Because Thorn Shield doesn't actually give real regen. But here, with Talon coming in, this is an easy kill. Good gank by Talon. He did the correct thing, pushed up his lane, and then roamed. Top lane and mid lane should do that. Anytime their lane is pushed up, just roam and get kills. Or, like, even if you don't get kills, you can set your other lanes ahead. Solar here should be pushing up the lane, and then backing out. Here we see Fiddle looking for a gank. He's not 6 yet. No. Wow, he's 3. Wow, Fiddle's way behind in the jungle. He should be at least 4, probably 5 right now. Oh, I missed a kill. Damn it. Okay. Sorry about that. But I assume what happened is Udyr ran in and Solar was just like, well, I'm Kennen, I'll just ult. So he ulted, hit his combo, and just killed him. Really easy. Now he has a Hex Tech, so that'll help with the lane sustainability issue. Whereas Caitlyn bought attack speed boots, which means she's going to be really, really weak. Ashe and Taric are having problems. This Taric knows what he's doing. He's last hitting. That's a little bit of an in-joke. He's last hitting and stealing Ashe's farm and not supporting, so I think the bottom lane is not going as well as it should be. Taric Ashe should dominate Cassiopeia Sion in terms of CS, because all they have to do is let Ashe farm, and then when Cass and Sion split CS, it'll be obviously awful for that team. Solar should probably be pushing more. He's losing a lot of creeps to the turret. We can do a quick farm check. We see mid lane is ahead, very even. So obviously Kennen is up because 1 creep behind, but a kill and an assist ahead. We see top lane is in favor of Talon, who also has this kill mid. We see that bot lane is going to be slightly in favor of blue also. So actually we're winning every lane. The only thing we're losing is the jungle. I don't know if we can see Udyr's CS properly. In fact, I'm pretty sure we can't. But Fiddle's behind in the jungle. Didn't get an assist for any of those kills or anything. Isn't 6 yet. Udyr's 6. And now bot lane's starting to lose. They're giving up a bunch of silly deaths that they don't need to. What's happening, of course, is Sion stunning, and then Cass is landing poison, and then being able to claws a bunch. But they should just be playing far back, and Taric should be able to counter stun anytime Sion stuns. Should be a really defensive lane that just gets Ashe farmed. That would be ideal here, and they would be coming out way ahead because they have a stronger lane. And by stronger, I don't mean a lane that can fight head-to-head more effectively. In fact, they actually can't. But a lane that will be better for the team if both teams play this lane correctly, as in this team splits farm and tries to get kills, and this team plays defensively and just lets Ashe last hit. Blue will come out way ahead on that because they'll get a farmed Ashe and they won't die. Whereas this team will get a half a farmed Sion and a half a farmed Cassiopeia, neither of whom will be tanky or doing any damage, so it'll be a huge disadvantage. Fiddle's still not 6 even after he got XP mid lane, so that's really bad. He's way behind, and he's going to get set even further behind when Cass comes to steal this stuff. Okay, he finally popped 6. Should have feared. Oh, Caitlyn turning back to set that trap down, and that's going to get her killed. I'm surprised we didn't see a stun from Solar there. He could have. I feel like he could have stunned. But good bait for the Fiddle ulting, so that when Udyr runs back in, it's an easy kill. And Cass is able to come and clean up because she comes and bottom lane. And Ashe doesn't follow. So that's too bad because top and bottom lane both came, so we ended up with a numbers disadvantage. I don't know why Talon went after the Jax instead of after the Cass. Really bad focus right now. And it looks like Jax will escape, but at least Talon got the Cass because he turned. Oh, and Fiddle's going to die here. Ashe still not following. She did throw that arrow, but she didn't follow, and that'll get Sion this blue. Talon should have been able to pick up that kill, I feel like. Ashe not turning on her frost arrows, and that's awful. And Udyr's gonna come in, and Ashe may die here. Nope. But Caitlyn gets in range to pick off the Talon. So, really disadvantageous fight for blue. Just really sloppily played. Bad focus. They could have got Cass and then killed Jax instead of letting Jax live. Not following their lane teammates and getting picked off really sloppily. So that's too bad. I don't think that was Kennen's fault at all. He could not have gotten in the way of that ult in time. That was Talon's fault for sticking around with 4 health when everyone was respawning. It's important to be able to identify mistakes. Talon having a bit of a rage fest here, so that's nice. After he fed double buff to Caitlyn rather than keeping it for winning his lane, Solar's going to have a really hard lane now. Double buff Caitlyn is much scarier for Kennen than just normal Caitlyn, who really isn't scary for Kennen at all. You should be poking those creeps to get the last hits there. Bit of a chase. Okay, ult's back up. Should be able to get a stun. Fiddle didn't auto attack. He needed to auto attack with red to slow the Caitlyn. This is something that Fiddlesticks players often just fuck up completely. Is they don't remember that red buff still slows. So they're like fear drain. You have to auto attack with Fiddle when you have red. It's incredibly powerful. You get to apply red to them. Red's really good. It does a lot of damage and it slows. It helps your lane mate catch up. Talon feeding top. That's too bad. And over here, Ashe is able to get a bunch of farm. I don't actually know who wins this game. It's possible that this is a loss. Really good bait, really well played by Fiddle, and see? There we go, red buff. Red buff, attack, auto attack. So he threw the auto attack, and Kennen should be able to cut him off. Udyr's got no mana to bear stance away. That should have been a shuriken there, probably. But with Tarek coming in, I feel like they could have turned and gotten that kill if Fiddle and Tarek had been in a slightly better position. Fiddle offering blue to Kennen. I feel like Fiddle should just take blue because he can use it. But I guess they're giving it... Oh, he's got one. I guess they're giving it to Talon. That'll help him against the Jax there. Ashe is able to just farm here. We're down 2 towers, and I think we've lost a dragon already. So, global gold is looking really bad for us. As well, CS is heavily in favor of purple team. Caitlyn and Jax are both getting really strong. Should be able to push down this tower here, because I think they sent Jax healing. I'm not sure why Fiddle backed off those golems there. I guess he wanted to get lane experience instead. I think he could have got both. Good last hitting by Fiddle. You can see him last hitting here. It's actually really hard to last hit with Fiddle's auto attack. There's a disconnect. So presumably Ashe comes back. Otherwise I'll wonder why I was sent this game. Talon coming in to gank and steps on a trap. So that's good. He's got a Sheen and a Brutalizer, so he's pretty tough. Like, he does a lot of damage right now. We'll CV this dragon. Tarek is not gonna. So they're gonna walk to it. And it's done. As I suspected. With Fiddle ult up, though, they can maybe fight this? No. Because Ashe is DC'd and Taric is AFK at tower. We're trying to bait a fight here. Yeah, Taric's just 100% AFK. I don't know what Fiddle was doing there. That seemed really bad. Almost got the cast. That's really sad. But unfortunately, wasn't even able to pick off the Caitlyn. And is gonna die here. With Taric still AFK. So that was a 3v5 because of disconnect. Wasn't even 4v5. Oh, Taric's back. He's awake. They're actually hilariously going to be able to pick up a kill here, I think. Yep. Yeah, because Jax decided to jump back in. And Fiddle went for the ult instead of the fear. That was such a wasted ult. All he needed to do was fear there, and like the flash was good. He could have just flash feared. That would have been an easy kill rather than wasting his ult. That was very poor play. Very sloppy play, I should say. Not poor because they got the kill, but really unnecessarily sloppy. Talon's not 11 yet, and he went attack speed boots? That's really weird. I don't know why attack speed boots. He's a burst character. Like, he doesn't sit there auto-attacking. You jump in and then you run away after you cast all your spells. He's like an Akali. He's like an attack damage Akali. Oh, and Ashe still having disconnect issues. So this game's gonna be tough. We see Taric not buying any wards. Wards are really important. And at the moment they have very little vision. Just this one spot in the river. An ally has been slain. I'm gonna be able to pick off the... Nice, okay. Double buff cannon's pretty strong. Jax kicking around to try to kill the Fiddle. Udyr, who has a Randuin's already, is really tough. See, if Fiddle hadn't wasted his ultimate earlier, he would have it and just be able to get both of these kills. Easy. But Jax decides to dive turret against a Taric, a Kennen, and a Fiddle. You should always dive turret against triple stuns. Really good. Really well played. So yeah, obviously that was a huge mistake from Purple. But really good by Taric and Fiddle and Kennen to identify when to turn and capitalize on that mistake. The CS lead is continuing to increase for Purple. Caitlyn's still really strong. They found her though in a really dangerous spot. So that's good. You see 3 blue buffs here. That's funny. Because that one's just gotten passed around so much. Ashe is back now, so that's helpful. Got Taric going Aegis, cooldown boots. Pretty standard Taric build. This is going to be a Sage, I assume. So Triforce on Talon, which I like. We're getting a Rylai's here. I feel like we should finish the Will first. And then pick up the Rylai's, but just because Will's 900 gold and it helps Fiddle, it helps Taric. It gives you, like, it's so cheap and effective and cost effective. But Rylai's is obviously a great item on Kennen, so there we go. I don't personally play Kennen. I've played him like maybe twice ever, but I've seen a lot of Kennens. We can see this dragon, so good CV by Taric, but just slightly late, so they aren't able to do anything about it, even though they're mostly grouped up, and Kennen and Fiddle both have ult. If Taric had caught that dragon attempt, like about 10 seconds sooner, it would have been an easy ace. Just Fiddle and Kennen flashing and ulting over the wall. Probably will not be able to catch the... Oh, okay. That was a good arrow by Ashe, so they may well be able to catch the Udyr here with all of these slows. Yo. Should be able to push bottom turret here, probably. And that's what I would do. Try to grab some advantage from this. They need to be careful that the other team doesn't Baron when they're all 5 bot, though. Gonna go for the enemy blue. That was a good, really good guess. And Tarek's able to steal that out from under the cast, so that's solid. Like, they didn't have vision on that or anything, that was just timing, I guess. Someone had a timer on that. So that's clever and well played. And they should be able to easily dive this Cass and Scion. Yeah, oh man, Caitlyn getting picked off again. Her positioning has not been very safe at all. And Cass is going to get picked off here as well as Talon blinks. Yep. Good fear to keep the Scion out of the fight. Not quite able to pick off the Cass. Should still be able to dive the Scion. Ashe should have stayed down here and pushed the creeps up into the turret so that they could dive. That would have been a much more effective play. I feel like if Ashe had done that, then Fiddle could just ult onto the turret, and they'd get a triple kill in, like, 2 turrets, rather than the weird sort of running around thing that they did. Obviously really hard to coordinate that in solo queue. Tarek now has his Aegis. Ashe does not yet have a Bloodthirster, but Udyr runs into the brush and gets caught. That was nice by Talon running out ahead there, because he could have taken that kill just by cancelling his ult and popping it on the Udyr, but he knew Udyr was dead, so he tried to catch someone else. It didn't work out, but it was still a good play. We see Fiddle with Zhonya's, so that's nice, and a Hex Tech. I'm not sure about the Hex Tech. I think I'd go a Death Cap or a Rod. I don't feel like Stealth Amp helps Fiddle very much. We should have Rylai's after this creep wave, probably. Yeah. Yeah, pretty darn close. Oh shit. I missed that kill. I don't know why our team was sticking around so long. Oh wow. Okay, Fiddle got that kill. It's too bad I can't see the health there. But then Fiddle gets picked off. And Tarek's dead too. Yeah, I don't know why they stuck around there that long. That was, this Talon's a douchebag. Wow. No class. Raging at your team is a really good way to ensure that you lose the game. I feel like I've lost more games to someone on my team getting mad and just raging at my teammates than I have to the other team playing well, ever. Just, it's the worst thing that you can do, possibly, if you want to win, is get mad at your teammates and call them on shit and be a bitch. We finished the Rylai's, so that's good. Pretty strong now. Fiddle's got Sork Boots. So that's good. Tarek's buying a Chain Vest. That's probably going to go into a Randuin's or a GA. Either of those would be good here. Or a Glacial Shroud would also be good. Ooh, we accidentally stole the blue from Fiddle. So that's too bad. Tarek stuns the Caitlyn out, and that's actually pretty clever by Tarek. He stuns the Caitlyn. To give, I'm assuming this is intentional. He stuns the Caitlyn so that Udyr and Jax, who both have stuns, really want to chase, because he knows that his whole team is grouped up. If they had chased, that would have been an easy pile of kills. Good hawkshot or CV or whatever that was to get the vision there. And they're going to be able to head over here. Ashe finally turning on frost arrows. Nice Fiddle ult. Nice Fiddle ult chained with the Kennen ult. So there's the team's game plan right there. I don't know how the focus got fucked up though. That should have, but they got all their ults on them. That should have been an easy one team fight. I don't know why Fiddle Zanya's there. He was like nearly full. They should be able to pick off Udyr at least, so that's good. But that's what they want to do, right? Is catch people out in the jungle, get both of those full ults on them, get an Ashe arrow on an important target. Although she hit the Udyr this time, should probably have aimed for someone who doesn't have, Randuin's and most of the Banshees and dodge boots. But that's sort of the general game plan, is do that and get Talon ult on a bunch of people too. Talon ult actually does an astonishing amount of damage. Tarek clearing creeps. They see two bots, so they might actually be able to get mid, but instead they're transitioning bot. They know Dragon's up also. So forcing a fight at Dragon might be good, although they might want to wait for Fiddle ult to come back up. So yeah, you see Solar calling that, force a fight. We've got ult. If Fiddle ult comes back up sometime in the next like 5 seconds or so, this will be just a really good fight for them. The best time to fight is right after your important ults have come back off cooldown, because the other team might think they're not up yet. Ashe should just arrow this Scion. Or the cast. Like, Ashe should have just arrowed someone there. Would have been an easy set of kills. Tarek is going to get himself killed by chasing this Caitlyn. I don't know what he's doing, what he was doing there. Team getting really split up. Good flash by Fiddle, and this is going to be beautiful. Yeah, that's going to be monstrous. The other team getting so sloppy, just clustering up like that. And, yeah, Talon able to chase him down. Talon still has ults. That's funny, he didn't even ult that fight. That could have been an even bigger wreck if he had blinked in and ulted instantly. So they should be able to pick up at least mid-turret. Facing for Will. Yep, that was a really good fight for Fiddle. Really good fight for Fiddle and Kennen. So they actually don't get mid-turret. Ashe may be able to pick off bot, at least? Okay, good. So they at least get something out of that fight, also. It's important to capitalize on fights that you win. This is a good game. It's quite close. I'm enjoying it. It's a Glacial Shroud on pair. Good choice. That'll help, particularly against Caitlyn and Jax, especially because Jax went Rage Blade, so he's relying on attack speed. Jax is really strong right now, though. Should be putting a ward on Baron, which I think is what's happening right now. Yep. See Solar warding real well. Sometimes you have to do that even as a carry when your team refuses to buy wards, which is good. Like, everyone should buy wards. But it would be nice if Tarek was doing more warding. Ashe has finished the Eye Edge, so actually not getting a Bloodthirster, just getting the Vamp Scepter. Fiddle has got a Blasting Wand, that's probably going into a Void Staff, for example. That was a cute play by Talon. And we see this really good initiation. And Fiddle hasn't even had to ult, so he's still got ult. That red buff slow lets Tarek catch up. Oh, losing vision just slightly. But they should get Caitlyn easily here. So that's nice. Tarek apologizing for the KS. And yeah, they should grab the Baron here. Really like to see Tarek apologizing for the KS. Learn to tank tower, says Talon. I don't know. I guess Talon wanted to take the turret rather than getting the Baron. In other words, Talon wanted to get less of an advantage and play more riskily. I don't know. Obviously, the Baron was the right call there. It puts them hugely ahead in this game. Towers can happen any time, but Barons only happen once. Yeah, and the other team immediately surrenders. They do the Baron, and that's it. And that's some good rating points. So yeah, that was a really solid game. I actually really enjoyed that. It's quite well played by everyone. Crap, I meant to pause and check everyone's items and CS at the end of the game. But just in general, they played the AoE team comp play just really well. Just bait the enemy into clustering for a fight at Dragon, at Baron, in the jungle. 3 times that happened. Get Fiddle ult, get Kennen ult, and just plaster them with AoEs. They picked the comp to do it, and they did it, and that's why they won. So really well played. So thanks to Solar Force for submitting the replay. I actually really enjoyed this game. And thank you to everyone who watched. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to comment, rate, and subscribe. And cheers. GG.